Welcome to T10 Info TV SK channel. My name is Syed. Here I am with the latest news for 11th August 2023. Saudi Embassy in Iran officially reopens. Saudi Arabia's embassy in Iran officially reopened on Sunday, Tasnim News Agency announced. The agency stated on Wednesday that the Kingdom Embassy in Tehran started normal work 3 days ago, or the first time since 2016. The IRNA News Agency has confirmed, quoting an informed source, that the Saudi Embassy in Iran has officially started its operation in Tehran since Sunday. This step comes after the announcement of restoration of diplomatic relations between Saudi Arabia and Iran last March, following a deal brokered by China. An agreement was signed between Riyadh and Tehran in Beijing to resume relations between the two countries as agreed in March and to reopen their embassies in each other's capital. 17 dead after Rohingya boat from Myanmar capsized on the way to Malaysia. Rescue team have found at least 17 bodies on Myanmar shores after a Rohingya boat capsized while on its way to Malaysia on Monday, officials told CNN. Among the dead were 10 women and 7 men, all of whom were Rohingya Muslims, said by a spokesperson for the Shwe Young Mata Foundation Rescue Group. The tragedy occurred near Rakhine State capital city Sitwe. 8 survivors were found alive and are currently being held at a local police station. A Sitwe police official told CNN that the boat was transporting 58 people, including 3 boat's drivers. They were met with a storm in the sea and the boat sunk under huge waves, the official said, asking not to be identified. Joint rescue operation by local police and the Rescue Foundation are ongoing, with 33 still missing. Pakistan polls likely delayed in latest political crisis. Pakistan's parliament has been formally dissolved, but polls meant to be held within 90 days will likely be delayed. The Electoral Commission says electoral boundaries must be redrawn to reflect fresh census data, a months-long process. Last week, former Prime Minister Imran Khan was arrested and jailed and then barred from politics for 5 years. He had openly challenged the powerful military establishment and claimed it was petrified of elections. With President Arif Alvi order on Wednesday to dissolve the National Assembly, a caretaker government will take charge. Outgoing Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif and his government has been given 3 days to name an interim leader. The Election Commission of Pakistan officially told the BBC the election will be held once the census is done, which will take about 4 months' time. As a result, the election may be delayed till next year. India's gig workers sees hope in a new state law. Gig workers in India are celebrating a small but significant victory in their ongoing fight for labor rights and better working conditions. The work is grueling, hours are long, the pay is meager, and there is no job security or access to basic rights like paid leave, insurance, or pension. But on 24 July, the western state of Rajasthan passed a landmark law that aims to provide platform-based gig workers social security benefits, a right they have been demanding for a long time, among other provisions. North Korea's Kim Jong-un dismisses military chief, calls for war preparation. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has dismissed his top general and called for stepping up for preparation in an offensive way, including boosting weapons production and conducting more drills, state media report Thursday. The developments came at a meeting of the Central Military Commission on Wednesday, the Korean Central News Agency reported, just days after Kim inspected several major arms factories. Ukraine announces humanitarian corridor for ships stuck in Black Sea ports. Ukraine announced a humanitarian corridor on Thursday to let dozens of cargo ships trapped in its ports since the outbreak of war last year sail into the Black Sea, where shipping routes are under scrutiny since Russia quit a deal to allow grains exports. At least initially, the corridor appears to apply to vessels such as container ships that have been stuck in Ukraine ports since the Feb 2022 invasion and were not covered by the deal that opened the port of grain shipment last year. But it could be a major test for Ukraine's ability to reopen sea lanes at a time when Russia is trying to reimpose its de facto blockade, having abandoned the grain deal last month. Bangladesh seeks OIC support on Rohingya funding after UN ration cuts. Bangladesh has appealed for more funding from Gulf countries and member of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation to help Rohingya refugees in the country, an official in Cox's Bazar told Arab News on Thursday following a cut in UN food ration earlier this year. Refugee Relief and Repatriation Commissioner Mizanur Rahman, who is the Bangladesh government's representative in Cox's Bazar, made the comment in a telephone interview with Arab News. Pakistan's imprisoned former Prime Minister Imran Khan is allowed a brief visit by his wife. Pakistan imprisoned former Prime Minister Imran Khan was allowed a brief visit by his wife on Thursday at a high-security prison where the top opposition leader and national cricket hero is being held, his lawyer said. The visit comes as Pakistan is inching toward a new parliamentary election. The National Assembly or lower house of parliament was dissolved on Wednesday and Khan's successor, incumbent Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif, now expected to install a caretaker government to administrate a day-to-day affairs and lead the country until the vote possible by November. Mr. Sharif's ruling Pakistan Muslim League Party is expected to face tough competition from Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf Party or PTI, though Khan himself would be unable to take part unless his conviction is overturned. Under Pakistan's law, no one with a criminal conviction can lead a party run in elections or hold public office. Sweden embassy in Lebanon attack amid Quran's row and no casualties were reported. An assailant threw a Molotov cocktail at Sweden embassy in Beirut, causing no casualties, Stockholm Foreign Ministry and a diplomatic source said Thursday, amid anger over recent Quran discretion. We confirmed that there was a Molotov cocktail thrown at a facade of our embassy last evening which did not explode, a diplomatic source at the embassy said, requesting anonymity as they were not authorized to talk to the media. The perpetrator managed to run away, the source added. Israel's Netanyahu pledged to unfreeze funds for Arab towns. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu pledged on Wednesday to release at least $54 million to Arab towns after his finance minister decision to withhold them drew accusation of racism. Benjamin Netanyahu said the money would be transferred after review but gave no details how long it would take. His spokesperson declined further comment. Israel's Arab citizens deserve what all citizens do and I am committed to this. I demand this of all government ministers and it will be carried out of following an evaluation to ensure that funds are transferred for the designated purpose, Israel Arab citizen Netanyahu said in a statement. United States, UK and Canada sanctions Lebanon former central bank chief Raed Salami. The US Treasury announced coordinated sanctions with Canada and Britain on Thursday against Raed Salami, Lebanon's long-term central bank chief who recently left office without a successor. Salami is wanted for ugly financing crimes in several European countries and stepped down at the end of his term in late July after 3 decades in this post. He has denied all the charges and vowed to challenge them. The 73-year-old corrupt and unlawful actions have contributed to the breakdown of the rule of law in Lebanon, the US Treasury Department said in a statement, adding that its action had been coordinated with Britain and Canada. ISRO released image of Earth and Moon taken by camera on board Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft. Indian Space Research Organisation has released 2 images taken by the Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft. The first image is of the Earth as viewed by the lander image camera. The photo was taken on July 14 when the Chandrayaan-3 mission was launched from the Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota. The second image is of the moon captured by the lander horizontal velocity camera on board the spacecraft on August 6. BRICS Bank looks to local currency as Russia sanctions bite. Hobbled by the impact of sanction against funding shareholder Russia, the new development bank said by the BRICS countries needs to increase its local currency, fundraising and lending, South Africa's finance minister told Reuters. South Africa will host leaders of the other BRIC nations Brazil, Russia, India and China as the bloc aims to widen its influences as Johannesburg summit later this month. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif holds talk with opposition leader for caretaker premier. Pakistan President Arif Alvi formally dissolved the National Assembly 3 days ahead of its mandate period, following which outgoing Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif held formal consultation with the leader of the opposition on Thursday over the nomination for a caretaker premier to conduct the general election later this year. Mr. Sharif will continue to perform his duties as the premier until the appointment of a caretaker prime minister. US President Joe Biden issued an executive order restricting US investment in Chinese technology. President Joe Biden signed an executive order on August 9 to block and regulate high-tech US-based investment going towards China, a move the administration said was targeted even though it reflected an intensifying competition between the world's 2 biggest powers. The order covered advanced computer chips, microelectronic, quantum information technologies and artificial intelligence. Senior administration officials said that the effort stemmed from national security goals rather than economic interest and that the categories covered were intentionally narrow in scope. The order seeks to blunt China's ability to use US investment in its technology companies to upgrade its military, while also preserving borders level of trade that are vital for both nations' economies. Saudi Deputy Foreign Minister met with Bilawal Bhutto Zardari. Saudi Deputy Foreign Minister Engineer Walid bin Abdul Karim Al Kharji has met Pakistan Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari in Islamabad on Wednesday. According to the official news agency SPA, during the meeting, the strong fraternal relation between the two countries and brotherly people and their expansion and development in various fields were reviewed. Aspects of intensifying joint coordination on various issue development at the international level and effort being made in this regard were also discussed. That's all in today's headlines. Keep watching T10 Info TV SK channel by subscribing and do hit the bell icon to receive notification and more updates.